What's up, guys? Ben here, bringing you another video today. As promised, I want to do kind of a longer Major 4 video, kind of give you my thoughts on the event, especially from our side, and then talk a little bit about Major 5, some of our plans, and then a little bit of champs, I guess. So let's dive in and chat. I had done some planning on a previous event at Belong last year. You guys remember the Prom Classic. So I was really familiar with the event, some of the learnings we had after, and I kind of knew sort of the layout of the venue. So when we heard about this from the league, I would say about like 2 months ago, and they were like, do you guys want to come? I was really excited. I went out for a site visit, I want to say about a month ago, with some folks from Esports Engine, and it was very easy to pick out the spot we wanted. There was already a couch, which, as you guys know, with Tommy, he's very particular about the couch, very particular about the setup. So furniture was not a problem. Sourcing furniture, guys, is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Stories for another day. Originally, what we were going to do is the couch was going to face towards the stage, which if you see where Tommy is, it's just like off to his right about 10 feet. So we started setting it up that way. And then we realized the problem, which is if you see the TV behind us, that was originally going to be a TV that was going to be in front of us. TV we would use to see like program feed, like the game, stuff like that. Well, it became clear if we had the couch like facing towards the stage, well, people on the stage could see the TV. And as you guys know, it's kind of a problem if the people on the stage can kind of see the podcast review. So that wasn't going to work. So we went ahead, we flipped it around, we faced it towards the wall behind us. Ended up being kind of a cool shot because you had, people in the stands back to our right. You had the putting mat behind us. Like, it was pretty chill and cool. So I think the setup worked out well. It was also the first time that we had used the production feed. So we were running this on the stream on like a 40-second delay once games were live. I don't think it was too bad. I think we had some tension, maybe this kind of before the event, but I think once we got up and running, I think we got used to the delay. And again, I think it enables us to like have cooler setups, be with stuff behind us. And I'll get to Major 5 and champs, I think, here in a second as to why this applies. But overall, I think it worked out well. I need a big shout out to a bunch of people. Bepsi, they're putting all the equipment together, getting it to Tom, helping me set up. Esports Engine, they gave us 2 really expensive Grass Valley cameras. If you watch this video, works in broadcast production, knows that like broadcast quality Grass Valley cameras are very expensive. That was really cool. And I think it allowed us to make like, have a really like good looking show. We also had some lighting that we put. We had our mixer, all that. I also want to shout out Micro Center. They sponsored our show on Saturday, and they also provided a lot of extra equipment like PCs, monitors, mice, keyboard. All that stuff was like super helpful throughout the week, and I really appreciate the sponsorship they provided us to be able to do this. Otherwise, we were gonna have to like rent stuff, but they were very interested in sponsoring the show and able to help us out. I want to also shout out my guy John over at Esports Engine. So another thing we did throughout the weekend, and you'll see it sort of in the 2 VODs that I've shown so far in this video, is we were actually at times doing live interviews, not only on our stream, but they were being broadcasted out to the world on the CDL broadcast. We actually did a few that we pre-recorded in the morning, me and Tom, around like 11:30 each day. They banked and then they played them back, not live, but almost after, it was about like 2 or 3 matches a day, we were actually doing live interviews with players that were going on broadcast. And this was a big idea that my friend John had. Activision was super down for it. They went to us and asked if we were down. We said yes, and so everybody negotiated. We got sorted, and I'm really excited to be able to do this down the line. I think a lot of people really enjoyed them. So if anyone from Activision or Esports Engine or the broadcast team were watching, like, we're down to do this in Major 5 champs next year. We have a lot of fun with it. Our audience loves it. I think it allows us to like quickly interact with players, and sometimes they come back and they stick around for the watch party, hit some putts on the putter mat behind Tommy and Chris there. You can't really see it, but there's a putter mat there. So I was really excited for that. We had a lot of fun with it. And I'm hoping we can do it again at any future event. Last thing I want to talk about is the perception around this event. Look, I know it wasn't ideal. It's a cool space, but we should be having majors with fans and in bigger venues. I just think at the end of the day, consider the circumstances of Major 4 supposed to be a King's Theater, from my understanding. New York's supposed to run it. There's been some mixed reporting onto why they ended up not doing it. They put out, I guess, that they weren't going to be able to fit challengers in the building, which is true. It's not a big building. But then Jacob Hale put out an article that it was tied to Gamefield no longer being a sponsor of the league. So confusing things there, but that all happened around November, December. And I can tell you, it's not easy to find a multi-thousand person venue in 5 months. It's just going to be very difficult. especially in early spring. A lot of people have holds, and you're just not going to be able to get in and commit and get a space to go to contract. So they went to Belong. And you could also ask me, well, why didn't they go to like ESA in Arlington or Helix? I would assume that those options were considered in November and December, and either those venues weren't interested, the hosting teams, in the case of Optic and Boston respectfully, weren't interested, or maybe there's some political issues with them running to at least 2 events this season. Boston ran Major 2, Optic ran Major 3. I don't know, but I would consider that those are probably the reasons why those didn't happen. So either way, I think this is probably the last time we do an event at Belong. I would assume the league's going to figure out how to get people to not back out of events going forward. And we really need to have people with crowds, because as much as this event was good, and I think people had a lot of fun with the mix up on it, for the growth and like, I think where the league needs to go, we need to try and not have events like this unless we want this to be a LAN league. I'm down. Listen, if we want to do a LAN league and have it be at a Belong, works for me. I live here. It's great. I wouldn't move. I'm 20 minutes away. We can go watch matches live. But for bigger major events, we need to be in venues with public crowds. All right. So finally, I want to talk about Major 5. First off, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet for Major 5, make sure you do that, because they're going fast. So what I'm showing you right now is a location of where we're going to be for Major 5. And it's in a really cool, like, I guess luxury box, press box. I don't know what to call it. But as you can see here, we're going to have like the ice rink or the stage behind us. We're going to turn those chairs away from the corner. And it's going to look really, really cool on broadcast. Shout out to the OAM team that sent this video. I wanted to share it with y'all. You can see kind of what we're working with. I'm really excited for this. We're going to have the stage behind us. The stage is going to be in the right-hand corner of that. And I think it's going to look really, really, really cool. One thing we're going to talk to the Toronto team about is like maybe putting a table outside this wall, so we can sell merch and do meet and greets, so people can walk outside, sign autographs, all sorts of fun stuff. So I think this is going to be like great for us, because we're going to have kind of like a cool sort of private space where we can kind of step outside and interact with people. And also we're going to have the cool stage behind us. I'm really excited for this event. I had a really good time when we went to Toronto last year for Major 3, I think it was. Our whole Toronto phase crew is going to be there, which is going to be really exciting. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this event. It's in like 4 or 5 weeks, so make sure you get your tickets. And yeah, I mean, that's basically it. In terms of champ stuff, we are also going to be at Thomas and Mack Center, but I don't know where we are just yet. I'm setting up a meeting, I think, later this week or early next week, and we're going to dive in on that. So once I have info to share about champs, we'll let you know. I think maybe we might do like some kind of fan event as well. There's some discussion of that. We're still trying to figure things out. That's a little bit farther away, and we've got like just like 7 to 8 weeks. So excited for that. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about the major, what you think about our Major 5 plans. If you have ideas on things for us to do in Toronto, I'll also take a look at those as well, because we're still locking in some ideas. Me and Gersh are kind of trying to do some cool stuff when we get there. So let me know if you guys have ideas. As always, like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys on the next video.